What up, everybody? We are coming to you virtual. I'm Ash.
I'm Claire.
I am IDK Young J. Free Palestine, free Sudan, free everybody under oppression. Rest in peace, Brownsville call.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting for us. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do?
Yeah. My name's Josh. I go by IDK Young J when I'm making music. I have been rapping since I was like 13. I started making music in 2021 after the pandemic kind of gave me time to think about like where I wanted to go with the art. And I would say like my biggest influences at this moment would probably be maybe Joey Badass, West Side Gun, a couple other East Coast kind of rappers. I've always just kind of felt what's the word I'm looking for? I've always felt drawn to that kind of like heavy hitting boom bap type of rap. Growing up in Nigeria, hip hop isn't very popular, but I'm really glad I found it. And I'm really glad I've kept doing it. And so I made my way over here for college and just kept it going and kept improving. So that's where I'm at right now.
Nice. Also, it was very hard to find things about you on the internet. You're a person of mystery. Is this your first interview or are you just
Yeah, I could say this is my first interview, like real interview. I want to say.
Wow.
I think I did one for this like online publication one time, but that was when I was like super early in my artistic journey. I'm still pretty early in my artistic journey, but like putting myself out there has not been the easiest thing. But I'm kind of trying to figure it out as somebody who's not really familiar with the whole like industry thing and like the whole self-promotion thing. I always just thought that like I could just put the music out and randomly blow up someday, but that's not how it works. That is not how it works, I've come to find. But we're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you're from Nigeria and you moved to Houston. How has that impacted your music and your sound?
Uh well, the first thing is there's been a massive improvement, I want to say, because artists, like meeting artists that make the kind of music you make, definitely makes it easy to make better music. Shout out to all the people who I worked with in Nigeria though. I still work with some of them, and they definitely were integral to my growth as an artist. But also, it also just gave me more to rap about and talk about, and gave me more life experiences for sure, and introduced me to like more sounds. Like ever since I got down here, I've discovered like genres and like subgenres that I never even knew about. I go to school out here in Louisiana. I have become like a lot more familiar with the bounce music, like kind of scene, and just all the like little cultural bubbles with the music. It definitely helps me to like be more varied. And music is just something that like is more pushed here. In Nigeria, it's like it's not easy to find a recording studio or to find people who even like go down that path, and so it's definitely made the accessibility uh, better for me, and thus has led to an improvement with the whole thing.
That's great. And that's always like good that, you can find the positives and know, oh, well, I recognize how much I've improved. Like I love that. And you've been working. You
Yeah,
released 4 consecutive albums per year. That's
yeah.
literally amazing. How do you like keep up that consistency? Why is it important to you to be consistent?
Well, for the most part, it's just easy to make music for me, and like I don't want to say like because all of my music is high effort, but it's just been like you know a kind of thing of where like I could always like construct a song and like put down the lyrics like pretty quickly, and so it's not even it hasn't even been like a conscious effort to drop every year. I want to say between my second and my third projects, that's in J We Trust and By the Skin of His Teeth. I actually took a hiatus. It just happened to fall like between like 2022 and 2023. And I took a hiatus because I was not super happy with like where I was with the music. I felt like I didn't really know what kind of like where I wanted to take it and like what I wanted to do with it. And so it just so happened that like at the start of 2023, I made some discoveries and I met some artists that kind of like inspired me. And so with that, I guess it was just luck that kind of kept me on that like one project a year kind of trajectory. And I just made it so that like, I might as well like I'm already doing this. I might as well just keep it going. And I'm just happy that like I'm kind of still finding the inspiration to keep doing that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And speaking of, let's talk about your latest release. How do you pronounce it?
It's supposed to be Mama Raised the Menace 1.5 because it's
Okay,
the reference to the first album I did, and it's
Oh
just kind of
yeah.
like semi
perfect.
listen to that.
Okay, I really loved it, by the way. My favorites are 10 Deep, I think, and then Rock'em Sock'em because I really love that sample at the beginning. So good. So, what did you have in mind with the concept, and what was the inspo for writing that?
Oh yeah. Around the time I was doing By the Skin of His Teeth, and I want to say like shortly after I had recorded By the Skin of His Teeth, and I was already doing like the promo on my socials. I met this guy. His name is Eddie. He goes by Foremost, and he was just like, "Hey, I got some beats, and if you're interested, I could do like, you know, you're a dope rapper. I could do what did he say like 6 beats for the price of one." And I was like, well, like, hey. And so
Yeah.
I'm not one to turn down a good deal.
Yeah.
And so I looked through his catalog, I picked a couple of the beats, and I was like, yeah. So I kind of just had him in the vault. I was kind of keeping his beats hostage, I'm not gonna lie. And he he was just like super patient. Like he didn't even like ask me much about like, like he trusted like I was gonna do something with it. It was definitely not like something that was supposed to be super conceptual. I was just rapping and, kind of like working out the lyrical muscles, I guess. And yeah, it just came together pretty like naturally. And it's supposed to be to tide people over until my next project, which should be dropping in the winter. Yeah, it should be
Okay.
this winter. And that one is definitely more concept based, and I think I'm really excited about that one. I have been working on that one since last year.
Oh,
So just
yay.
wait for that.
Hell yeah. No, I'm glad you mentioned the features because they're great. I think I love the last song with Jordan and like just getting those features. This you said this was the first album where you reached out to people
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
have okay, so did you make a choice? Like, how did you decide to get them on a song? And, like, do you have a certain person in mind when you're
Oh yeah.
wanting a feature, or do you decide after you write, or how does that go?
The thing with me, the thing about me, and like most of all, apart from like enjoying making music, I enjoy music itself, and I just love like listening to artists. And like I've never been the kind of person like if you tell me like you make music, I will check it out. Like I'm not really like specifically snobbish about that kind of thing, and so would just check out everybody who I would interact with. That's how I discovered King of Vanna's music. I became a big fan of his. I discovered Lil Figurative. I became a big fan of hers. Um, and I met Jordan at a time where like Jordan was reaching out to people to kind of see if they wanted or needed features because he was trying to first off put himself out there, and secondly he was trying to work on his pen and like work on his skills. And I'm like, hey, you know why not just give it a try? And so I sent him the beat for Treaty of Versailles, and he sent back his verse, and I was like really impressed with it. And honestly, I didn't have that like idea for the song until I got his verse back. And I was like, well, if we're just gonna be venting on this track, I might as well just go ahead and vent. And so I
Okay.
just I just kind of, vented out those emotions on that track. And that's just how that came together. Uh Regarding the other features, like I said, like as soon as I heard the beat for Tax, I knew that like, okay, King of Van is probably gonna go on this. I heard the beat for Rock'em Sock'em. I was like, 9 a.m. The Underdogs definitely going on this. Yeah, it was just like a thing of like, as soon as I heard the beats, I kind of had somebody in mind. And like I said, when it's not super conceptual, you can just kind of go crazy with the features and like just let them rap about whatever.
Yeah, and that's cool that, Jordan even inspired you to be like, "Oh, let me
Yeah,
change up
exactly. Yeah.
the direction of this song." Like, that's because you probably didn't have that kind of vision for it at first. I
No,
love
not
that.
at all. I don't even know what possessed him, honestly. I don't know. I don't he sent me that verse. I was like, are you good, bro? Like, do you can we talk about anything?
Everything okay? We
I
need
was
to
like,
talk.
yeah.
I love that. So, what do you enjoy the most about collaborations versus working alone?
Uh Growing up as an only child, like, is like can be super lonely. And like, I was only child in a single parent household. And so a lot of the time was spent by myself already. So I've just always been the kind of person that kind of like yearns for, collaboration and like, for social activity. Even though like sometimes I be getting social anxiety, but that's I feel like that happens to like most people. But I've just always been the kind of person who enjoys talking to people and like learning from them and like, talking like, just I like multiple people's voices to kind of like be a part of something. And it's even like seeped into my music to where like I'm actively, you know, hoping to work with like a kind of like collective someday. Maybe I'll start my own, maybe I'll join one, whatever. And it's just like it's made collaborating a lot easier because there's a lot of rappers who are always just like, oh, I'll do it all myself, I'll do it on my own, no, I'll go platinum with no features, whatever. And shout out to those guys. But I've just always been the kind of person to be like, hey man, I want multiple voices on this. I want perspectives that I may not have on this. And it's just informed the way I carry myself in my music.
Great answer. We
Yeah.
feel the same. I mean, I
Thank you.
think just the community of it is like half of the journey of
Yeah,
just
exactly.
the process. This is kind of off the going off script here, but I'm curious because you said, it's not a concept album, things like that, but like you're very intentional in your lyrics and, you spend a lot of time writing about like deep, meaningful things to you. And I feel like rap music, like where we're at as a culture now of like TikTok and just fast pace of like put out a single, go viral, whatever. Like I guess how do you stay true to your sound and, like, dedicate to that when it could be so easy to just make a little trap banger and
Oh yeah. Definitely like it's just been a thing of like trying to I don't know, it's just I just wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. I just wouldn't feel comfortable putting out a song that like I didn't, kind of that didn't really resonate with me. And whenever I see like people kind of like sell out and make music that they don't really make, it's just never been something I see myself doing. Whenever I write, I'm writing raps as an outlet, for whatever I got going on, or like, just whenever I rap, that's when I feel the most confident. Like I said, growing up, only child, single parent household, I had a lot of time with my own thoughts. And when I was younger, I couldn't really play with other kids because I was a lot bigger than the other kids and I didn't know my own strength. And so I would just be indoors reading. Like I exhausted the library in my elementary school. I even had this big ass dictionary that I would just bring to school every day. And sometimes during recess, I would just be looking through the definitions of random words. And it was not like the best. It was a little like a bit of a lonely existence, but it did definitely contribute to like where I am now. And so I am generally pretty soft spoken and like, I'm just shy, I guess. But I whenever I'm rapping, whenever I'm in the studio, like it's just a whole different person in there. And so that's kind of where like it's almost like a alternate personality from
Yeah.
and it definitely helps me, outside of the music because when I make the music and I rap and I just feel this burst of confidence, it just helps me in my day to day and helps me with all that. So
Yeah.
that's the importance of it to me. And so I just can't see myself, you know, not making music that like, I personally identify with or like that gets me moving because the music I'm making, I make it for others, but I also make it for me. So
Love that.
Yeah. Okay, what's your favorite song you've ever made and why?
that's a really difficult question. That's a really
Ask
you
the
did not
deep
you really
ones.
you really put me on the spot with this one.
It's a thinker.
This is like I feel like this answer changes so often. Uh, I honestly couldn't tell you. I really honestly couldn't tell you, especially because I've got some songs that I've made that I haven't put out that like I absolutely rinse like to this day, and they're just going like Google Drive is absolutely sick of me at this point. But
That's the password to his Google Drive.
it's just I'm just like I don't know. If I had to pick out of all the songs I've put out, uh, the more emotional songs, I love them. They're my babies, of course, but it's just like I'm not listening to them every day because I don't want to remember all the emotions that were, But like, man, look, this question, whoever wrote this question down, we have beef. But picking my between my songs is like picking between my children. To be completely honest, like I love all of them equally, but right now I want to say the child that's getting the most love is probably Ten Deep. I want to say, as in this moment, shout out to the other songs, but you know,
That's
I
my
hear
favorite
Ten Deep
child
and
right
I'm
now
just
too.
like, I hear Ten Deep
Okay.
and I'm just like, I was going crazy on this. Like, I try to put myself in the headspace of like somebody who isn't me or like somebody who's just hearing about me for the first time. And I'm like, if somebody heard this song, they would be like, damn, like he's kind of going crazy right now. So,
Yeah.
hey, shout out all my other kids, but 10D, you're the favorite right now.
Yeah. Well, the questions are about to get a lot worse. Not
Oh,
worse, just
all right.
harder.
Okay.
What's a fun fact about yourself no one knows, fans
No
would
one knows. I mean, I've been
or a
telling people
surprising
whatever,
fact?
man. I trauma dump all the time, so I don't know if there's anything no one knows.
That's awesome.
I don't know if there's anything no one knows, but I used to play the violin. Yeah, I feel like that's a
Oh, how long? Like for
I
how long?
played for quite a while. I want to say like maybe 10 years, but I just never kept going because it was forced on me. And
Whoa.
I was a child and I wanted to be rebellious. So as soon as I could, I was just like, man, get this shit out of here. Like
Have you heard of Esmod?
um sorry?
Have you heard of Esmod?
No, what's that?
He's a local rapper, but he also plays violin, and we
Oh
went to a
really?
show, like, a couple months ago, and, yeah, he incorporates violin into his shows, it's really cool.
Well, that's
Shout
really
out
cool.
Esmod if he's watching, and I'll send you, his stuff, but, yeah.
No, shout out to
He
him.
made it look really cool. Okay, we're getting into silly mode now, I don't know if you can tell, but, okay, so this is our first game segment we've ever done.
Okay.
It's called Flops or Bops. So we're
Oh,
gonna give you some songs, and you're gonna tell us if you think it's a bop or a flop, and you're not gonna hurt our feelings.
I'm not. I'll try my best.
Okay, so the first one is "Espresso" by Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, that's a bop. That's an easy one.
Yeah!
Like that song is like just at peak bad bitchery right there. Like that's just it's just one of those songs that like you just have to move your head or your
Yeah,
body, whenever you hear it. Shout
yeah,
out to
that's
me.
what got me on to Sabrina, 'cause she's a little younger for me because 'cause I'm 29. So, yeah, she got me on right when Feather came out, I think, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, Espresso, fine." But then I heard "Please, Please, Please," and I loved that, and then I got Espresso more because I was like, "Oh, she's, like, silly, like,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
kooky."
she's real. That
She
I'm
is
working late because I'm a
It's
singer.
real.
That's real.
Yeah.
I hear that line and I'm like, yeah, that's me.
You're like,
I'm
"That's me."
always working late,
I love that. Okay, next song, a bar song, "Tipsy" by Shabuzi.
man. Look, without that is an easy bop, and I say that because not only because it's a good song,
Mhm.
but I just love it when like black people make other genres and like genres
Yeah.
that like they are historically black, but like people don't really expect black people to make those kinds of music at this moment. And so like when I see a black rock band or a black country singer, I'm just like, hell yeah, man. That's it makes me happy. It's so that song, hell yeah. It's and it's catchy.
Yeah.
It's probably some of the only country music I'll listen to, but that's
Next song, "Blow for Blow," J. Cole, if you've heard this
uh
one.
shout out J. Cole, but I don't know. Some of his music has been leaving a bad taste in my mouth recently. So I'm not.
Hmm,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
Like, what was
little I'm a little I'm a little indifferent
understandable.
on him right now. But
Yeah. I just feel like
he's
his timing is never right.
yeah. He just like I don't know. He's one of those guys. I feel like he's just one of those guys that like he means well, but he's just a bit of a cornball. And it's okay. It's okay to be a cornball sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like if he would just own it more, then it wouldn't be as bad. Like, bro,
Exactly.
you're about to be in your 40s, like, just, like, lean into the dad vibe a little.
Right?
Exactly, man. Exactly. That's exactly
Right?
how I feel. Like you're almost 40. You're still dropping gun bars. Let it
Mhm.
go,
Right.
please.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, last one, though, this is a bonus point because I forget you're a Houston hottie, so are you a Meg Thee Stallion fan or
Oh, that is my bro. Meg the Stallion is absolutely just amazing. Like,
Yeah. I
have you
agree.
seen her live?
not yet, unfortunately, because most of the time I'm in Louisiana when she's touring.
Oh, duh.
But uh Meg the Stallion, I'd be listening to her to improve my raps
Yeah.
because I just feel like her rapping ability is just absolutely insane. Some of the flows she hits, her cadence, and like of course her writing, like she's just like on a technical level, probably one of the best in the mainstream right now.
Yeah.
Uh, I think I did give her a little shout out on some feature I did last year with the IR. I said on my thought shit, so I fuck with man Pete. Shout out to her. But that's
Okay.
that's yeah, that's my queen right there.
You're
I
an
love
OG hottie
Oh
then.
yeah,
Join the club. I
since
love
like
that.
2020, 2021.
yeah.
Since
Okay, yeah.
Savage, I heard Savage and I was like, I
Yeah.
have to hear more.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw her when she came to the Forum in May with Glorilla. That was that
So
was
good.
mm,
Okay, we're gonna continue with the games. All right. Truth or dare?
Truth, the
okay.
truth. Let's go, truth.
You were so quick
Okay.
on that. Why? Were you scared
Yeah.
of the deer? Like,
Because we got to start slow.
Like, I'm gonna
okay,
hold it
Got to
down.
ease
we
into
only
it.
have one. It's just the
Yeah,
one.
Oh,
just the
just
one.
the one. Oh, truth
Yeah,
then.
we don't wanna scare you.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, what was the last song you cried to and why?
Ooh, damn.
Yep.
Is it too late to pick Dare? Uh,
I
You're
don't
not
know if
gonna
you
want
want
to
me
do
to
that.
do that. You don't want to.
okay. The last song I wanna say I cried to is, I cry to the song almost every time I hear it. It's this song called "Gone Girl" by Obon JR. You guys might not know him.
I do know him,
You do know Obon
actually.
JR? That's
He is
awesome.
on a sad boy playlist that I listen to.
Stop. Now I feel left out.
Yeah. Obon JR is like he's probably it's one of those songs that like every time I hear it, I'm just like, this is literally me. And I hate it so much. You know that thing where like you see something and you're like, I'm in this picture and I don't like it. That's
Mm.
how I feel about Gone Girl because the song the song is about somebody who's in a relationship and he can tell that like his partner is kind of losing interest and he kind of interpolates this old Afrobeat song by Fela, who like on the old song, Fela was talking about like the political scene in Nigeria and how that like the politicians are just it's like we don't even have leaders in the country and it's as if the country is being run by zombies. And Obunjayar interpolates that into like, you know, and changes up the meaning to where it's like he can tell that like there's no real passion behind his like partner and like there's no real passion in their relationship anymore and it just kind of feels like she's just going through the motions kind of like a zombie and so the song is just basically him
I'm crying.
desperately the song is just basically him desperately begging for like his partner to kind of like let's work this out. I don't want you to detach, and in terms of why, I'm not revealing why, but I think we can put two and two together and figure out why I was crying to that. But yeah, shout out Bon JR and
Yeah.
shout out Gone Girl, the
Aw.
most relatable song I've ever heard.
Thanks for sharing the lore behind that.
Yeah.
Oh
How
yeah,
did
of
you
course.
learn it? And if it was Reddit, I understand.
No, like I just pieced it together because like I said, I could
Wow.
relate. Like as soon as I heard the first couple lines, I was like, oh wow, is this about me? Is this fucking play about us? Like I was like, what are
Is
we
this
doing here?
fucking play about
Slay, slay.
I was like, what's going on here? He said, is there something I'm not doing? I was like, excuse me, sir, can you not do this? And so I've heard the song so many times that like I even wrote an article about it. That's how you know that
I
like
was
I've
trying to
really
say, I need to, I feel like I
I
need to
am
read.
me and this song are locked in, man. Like,
Ooh, that's
yeah.
Aw.
cool.
Okay. Thank you for playing. Last
It
game.
was
I don't know if that was fun.
it
Okay,
was fun.
last
It
game.
was. It was.
No cheating.
Okay.
Open up your streaming service. What was the last song you were listening to? Pull it up.
We're gonna pull out the phone for this one.
What is
Okay.
your streaming service of
Apple
choice?
Music. I use Apple
Oh,
Music. This is gonna seem so like
Wait, I gotta put you on solo.
this is
Let's
gonna
see it.
seem so self-obsessed, but I was actually listening to Taps.
Mm. Oh my god,
uh,
air horn, air horn.
no, you know what I love though? Like the whole time you've been so complimentary of your own work, and I love that. Like Ashley was talking with someone else about it's hard. It's sometimes artists don't want to hype themselves up, and we're over
yeah.
here like, yes,
Oh
and
yeah, no.
but you know it, like
Yeah.
I used to be like that as well, but I'm just at a point where like I'm making music that I know like nobody can tell me this shit is trash. And so
yeah,
I'm just like, hey, and that was part of why I went on a hiatus in after my 2022 project because I just felt like I was not making music that I could defend with my life. And so I just take time off to kind of like figure out what I wanted to do with it and kind of figure out what kind of music I wanted to make that would get me to where like I'm confident in my stuff and like I can confidently put it out there and be like, hey, like you should listen to this. This is worth your time. And with this latest EP, I can definitely say I did that. I worked out most of the kinks with my rapping. I like my recording, and I'm really proud of it, honestly. And that's why, like, I'm out here on Twitter being super annoying and telling everybody to stream it because I know that if they do stream it, they will like it. So,
Yeah.
As you should. Yeah, I'm so glad we came across your music. Like, it's always fun finding little hidden gems that it's like, I don't know where I would have, found this
wherever you would
otherwise.
have found me, I mean, you would have found me eventually. I'm putting myself out there, so you definitely would have found me eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so you mentioned you've got the winter album release
Yeah.
potentially. I don't know if you have any sort of timeline or any other visuals or anything, but what's coming up next? Like what can
Oh
we
yeah.
definitely see next?
Over this, because I had fall break last weekend, so I had an extended weekend. I started working on the winter project. I have like I said, I've been working on it, but I started like writing out like stuff, and I can't tell you too much because I feel like this one needs to kind of just hit people like out of nowhere. There's not gonna be any singles, nothing. Like it's just gonna be the full project. You're just gonna have to sit down and digest it. But before that comes, I'm definitely working on some music videos, probably for the attendee, probably for Vainglory. Um, I am also I actually just put together a creative team, and so we're working on
Oh,
some stuff as well,
congrats.
and it's
Congrats.
really thank you.
Jealous.
It's really exciting. It's really exciting to be
Literally.
honest, and you know, I got some really cool stuff planned. Right now, the full focus is on the next project. I'm still obviously promoting this one that I just dropped, and I've already started I like to say the egg stage for my projects for next year. So really
Wow.
interesting stuff. I won't say too much about those either, but just know a little figurative, Jordan. You'll be hearing my name with those two names a lot next year.
Heard.
So
Okay. Keeping
Okay.
the air of mystery, I
yeah,
see.
at least for now, because I'm about to be on TikTok showing my ass. So I might as well try to be as mysterious as possible right now.
I
Hey,
love
if you
that.
need any help, we'll be on there with you if you
Oh,
if
hell
you
yeah.
look
Yeah.
stupid with you.
Hell yeah.
All
Uh,
right.
but,
Where can the people find you? Where can they stream you?
you can find me, honestly, you can find me anywhere. You can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. Well, not really SoundCloud. All my SoundCloud listeners, I'm sorry, but I'll be putting, I don't want to say throwaways, but like just stuff I'm not putting on streaming will be going on SoundCloud. Just is kind of just gonna be like an archive of my stuff. Any songs that like either like don't get finished, or any freestyles that I want to do that I can't put on streaming because of like sample clearance or whatever. That's what the SoundCloud is dedicated to right now. Uh, but I will say, pretty much any other platforms, YouTube, just go search IDK Young J, and don't forget the period because it's really important. Like you can see, I put it right there as well because uh the inspiration behind my name is like a whole thing. Like the period at the end is really important. So you know, just search me up. Is probably just IDK Young J anywhere. I'm probably there. Freaking Clash of Clans, Fortnite. I'm there. Just search up IDK Young J.
Up late night playing.
Heard. Well, it was an honor to have you. This was
Oh,
so much
it's
fun.
been an honor to be
Yeah.
here. Honestly,
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you won't hear this won't be the last from us. We like to
definitely.
yap.
yeah,
So,
we'll be asking about the
I'll happily talk to you guys again.
Oh,
oh,
Yeah.
certified popper
thanks.
and hottie.
Mm.
Hell
And
yeah.
Hottie.
Yeah. All right, y'all. But for real, stream IDK Young J. So good. You will love it. The hotties love it. The men love it. Everybody loves it.
I make music for everybody. The
Love it.
girls, the gays, the guys.
The
Everyone in
days, all of them. Hell yeah.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Thank you,
Later.
BitchBopz, for having
Bye.
me. I love you guys.
Love you.